Good morning, students. Saira, welcome back to your online teaching session after your second unit test. Hope all have done well in your exams. Now, before the unit test, we have already started with lesson number 8, that is industry and trade. In that, we have learned in part 1 about the different industries like the textile industry, silk industry, jute industry, then khadi and village industries, and also about the cement industries. How India had flourished its trade by setting up these industries and providing employment opportunities to the in the remote areas to the villagers. At the same time, these various industries have proved to be of great help in improving the economic conditions the of India. So today in part 3 we will be learning about how India had carried out its trade and also the import and export activities with the different countries. So as we have learned in our previous class about the different industries, so in the fourth 5-year plan, focus was placed on paper industry, pharmaceutical industry, motor tractor industry, leather goods, textile industry, food processing industry, oil, color, sugar industries, etc. So there were certain policies were implemented, and we have learnt about the fourth 5-year plan in our previous lesson also. So the fourth 5-year plan had mostly focused on the industrial sector, and various industries like the pharmaceutical, motor tractor, leather goods, textile industries, food processing, oil, color, sugar industries were been mostly concentrated on. And according to the industrial licensing policy of 1970, all those factories requiring an investment of more than 5 crore rupees were to be included as heavy industries. So these industries which included the investment of more than 5 crore rupees, those industries were included as heavy industries, as lot of investment was required in this industry. The big industrial houses and foreign companies were allowed to invest in heavy industries that were not reserved for the public sector. So, the industrial houses and the foreign companies, the foreign countries were allowed to invest in these heavy industries, and these were not reserved for the public sector, that is the local industries. As a result of this policy, by the end of 1972, 3,18,000 small industries were registered with the government registration office. So, as the foreign countries were allowed to invest in the Indian industries, we could see that by the end of 1972, around 3,18,000 small industries were registered. Along with this heavy industries, even the small industries had created a market in the Indian sectors. So they had registered in the government registration office. Now, how was mineral wealth? It proved to be of great help to the Indian government. So availability of minerals, iron and coal, this plays a major role in the industrial development of the country. So of course we see that as more of machinery is used, mechanization is there, so a lot of iron and mineral was required. So in this way, the availability of the minerals, the natural resources, the iron and coal, it played a major role in the industrial development of the country. We have adequate stores of iron, manganese, coal and mineral oil in our country. So as we have a lot amount of iron, manganese, coal and mineral oil obtained in our country, it proved to be of great help for these industries. Then apart from the minerals that were available, even forest resources proved to be of great help for the further development of the country. So the government has reserved some forests for the industries based on forests. Now which are the industries that are based on forest, children? Yes, of course, we have industries like the paper industry, rubber industries. Okay, they are based on the wood, the furniture that is made from wood. So they are all based on forest resources that are available. So the task of conservation of the forest is done by the central government, the state government, and by the local people. So the central government, the state government, and the local people, they conserve the forest resources that are available. And forests are necessary for the raw material of industries. Now what is forest, how is forest useful? So it is helpful as a raw material for the industries like construction, paper, newsprint, silk, matchboxes, medicinal herbs, honey, lacquer, and raw material which is needed for paint. Okay, so in this way the forest resources prove to be of great help for these industries. Then apart from that were the fisheries. Now fisheries include seawater fish and freshwater fish found in rivers, canals, ponds and lakes. Now what is included in fisheries? Yes, we have seawater fish, then freshwater fish, and those which are found in rivers, canals, ponds and lakes. Harbors have been built or old harbors have been redeveloped. Fish seed incubation centers and fishing industry training centers have been provided for the growth of this industry. So how has the fishery industries developed? So there were harbors were being built, or the old harbors which were already there, they were redeveloped. And fish seed incubation centers and fishing industry training, so the training was also provided for the enhancement, for the development of the fishing industry. So fishing industry training centers were started, they were provided for the growth of this fishing industries. Then India has a rich and cultural heritage. There are places of worship of different religion, pilgrimage centers, confluences of rivers, forts, caves, etc. all over our country. So as we already know that India has a rich and cultural varied heritage of culture, and so we have so many pilgrimage centers, then we have forts, caves all over the country, and which we find that many of the foreigners, they visit India to see these places. So tourists from our country as well as from abroad travel in India throughout the year. So we can see that not only within the country but from outside the country also, there are many tourists who visit India to see all this cultural heritage of India. So the facilities provided for the tourist for to stay, to travel, that is, who is providing? The tour corporation. It provides all kind of help which is required for the tourist. So in this way the sale of curios and the hotel industry thrives in tourist places. So we can find that it gave importance to the hotel industries. Okay, the tourists would the guides would provide guidance, or the would just give knowledge about that particular place to the people. So in this way this had helped in the development, economic development of the country. In some places there are guides who give information to tourists about that area. So we have at certain places, when you visit to certain places, historical places and all, we find that there are guides who provide us information about the historical importance of that particular place. Sometimes when vehicle don't reach the destination in some remote and difficult to reach tourist places, the local people help the tourist in return for a fee. So sometimes it happens so that we are not able to find the exact location, exact place. In that case, we find that if it is a remote area, so we find that there are local people who help the tourists to return for a fee. So they just ask for a certain amount, so that is again a source of income for the local people over there. Employment opportunities are generated out of these needs. So in this way, providing guidance to the people, showing them the proper way, that is again and gaining money from that. So that is a source of income. So it provides an employment opportunities also to the people living in those remote areas. Now, import and export of or foreign trade which is carried out. When planning started in 1951, the import of industrial goods and raw material required for production increased. So, India's imports included machines, iron, mineral oil, fertilizers, medicines, etc. So, accordingly, we find that the import of industrial goods of India, that is, as more of raw materials was available in India, so this raw material production was increased, and India imports all this like machines, iron, mineral oil, fertilizers, medicines to those foreign countries. India also gave importance to exports after independence in order to gain valuable foreign exchange. So India, raw material which was the natural resources, the material which was not available in India was imported from the other countries, whereas those things which were available in India were exported to the other countries in need. So what did India's exports included? It included tea, coffee, spices, cotton textiles, leather, footwear, pearls, precious stones, etc. Now, internal trade. India's internal trade takes place via railways, roads, airways, etc. So, these are the modes of transport which are used for carrying out trade within the country or outside the country. Ports like Mumbai, Kolkata, Cochin, and Chennai are important. Commodities like coal, cotton textiles, rice, wheat, raw jute, iron, steel, oil seeds, salt, sugar, etc. are included in internal trade. So these are the things which are included in internal trade, that is within the country. Due to the development of industries, the standard of life in the country improves. So what happened, because of more of industrial development had taken place, so automatically the standard of living of the people also started improving, and many employment opportunities became available to the people within the country. On the whole, it helps in the progress of the country. So after this, we could see that it helped in the overall development of the country. So we have seen that all those different industries which were set up, it further helped in the economic development of the country. Also, trade with the other countries was carried out smoothly, and import and export of goods was done not only within the country but outside the country, which helped in improving the relations with the other countries, and also maintaining balance, economic balance between them, and it further helped into the enhancement of the country. So in this to be of great help in the economic and political social development of the country. So here we finish with our lesson. We shall stop for the day. Thank you, children.